Henry Ford, putting the world on wheels. Henry Ford was an American industrialist, the founder of Ford Motor Company and sponsor of the development of the assembly line. Although Ford did not invent the automobile, he developed and manufactured the first automobile that many middle-class Americans could afford to buy. His introduction of the Model T automobile greatly changed transportation in American industry. Before the Model T was introduced in 1908, owning a car was reserved for the richest and most affluent citizens. Henry Ford's brilliance allowed an astounding effect on the way the world moved, not by inventing drastic changes for the automobile, but rather how it was produced. His hard work made a car affordable enough for the common man, but still a kind of quality for the rich. Henry Ford forever transformed the automobile and production.
Henry Ford had a big part in the convenience and development of one of the first cars ever made in the way of transportation, basically from what I would call from point A to point B.
Henry Ford was born on July 30th, 1863, in today what is known as Dearborn, Michigan. Henry Ford at a young age grew an interest for mechanics and a dislike for farm chores. A few months after his mother's death in 1876, Henry was riding to Detroit in a farm wagon with his dad. Down the road, coming at them, was a steam engine on wheels being propelled by its own power. The engineer, Fred Redden, told Henry all about it. When Henry realized that it could be used as a self-propelled vehicle, he decided by instinct an engineer. In 1879, when he was only 16, he decided to move and look for work and a place to stay in Detroit. Henry Ford worked at the Flower Boys machine shop. He also repaired watches for Robert McGill's jewelry shop and got paid 50 cents an evening. During his lunch break, he read engineering magazines. In one, he read of a gas internal ignition engine developed in Germany. Ford never forgot that article, and from then on he was obsessed with making a gas engine. In 1891, Ford returned to Detroit with a new occupation as an engineer for the Edison Illuminating Company. Quickly climbing the ranks of the company, in just 2 years, Ford had earned the title of chief engineer. The new freedom of this position enabled Ford to support his wife Clara and his son Edsel, and allowed him more free time developing the internal combustion engine. Henry Ford wanted his car to be rugged, lightweight, dependable, and simple in design. In 1896, after he tested the quadricycle, a self-propelled vehicle with 4 wheels, a flimsy frame, and a bicycle seat in the middle, he began making changes to it. He hired a blacksmith to help make an iron frame. The new structure was sturdy enough to seat more than one person, so he replaced the bicycle seat with a carriage seat. Ford sold his first quadricycle for $200, and right after he started working on another one. As he put together his second car, Ford began thinking about starting an automobile company. Only one company at the time was producing cars, but few others were getting ready too. Ford was set on his goals and still needed funding to achieve that. Facing his own creations, Ford won renowned competitions, even setting a new land speed record at 91.3 miles per hour. The interest generated by his efforts attracted high-profile investors, including Alexander Malcolmson, the Dodge brothers, Michigan Senator James Couzens, and Horace Rackham. The considerable capital eventually led to the founding of Ford Motor Company on June 16, 1903. During the motor company's first 5 years of business, they had tried 8 different models, A through H. Ford thought if they lowered the price, they would sell more cars. They tried it next year and made $250,000. The Model T was first introduced in September 1908. It is generally regarded as the first affordable automobile which made travel available to middle-class Americans. Henry Ford said of the vehicle, "It will be constructed of the best materials, by the best men to be hired, but it will be so low in price that no man making a good salary will be unable to own one, and enjoy with his family the blessing hours of pleasure in God's great open spaces."
I understood that it could travel as far as 40 to 50 miles back when it first started, so the longevity was pretty good for back in those days. And the biggest thing, again, I go back to the job growth that the Model T gave to the American people. Also gave them the, as you call it, the convenience from getting from one place to another.
There's one car that takes you anywhere you want to go. The Model T. Strong, sturdy, with a will of its own.
With the Model T gaining almost immediate popularity thanks to its high functionality, simplicity, and durability, the Ford Motor Company sprouted rapidly. Henry Ford tried various methods until the world's first assembly line started on December 1st, 1913. Workers lined up side by side and a conveyor belt moved the car along while each worker did only one job. As Ford himself said, "The man who places a part does not fasten it. The man who puts in a bolt does not put in a nut, and the man who puts on a nut does not tighten it." By using the assembly line, Henry Ford was able to turn out twice as many cars without increasing the number of workers. By doing this, he could also make a good car at a good price. To put his large income and strengthening enterprise to a better use, he put the assembly line and many new workers into action at the Grand Factory of Highland Park, Michigan. Ford was able to create a lot of production speed that was never before possible. Daring to take it a step further, Ford established the River Rouge plant, completed in 1928. The plant was self-sufficient, and the Ford Motor Company controlled all the resources for production and transportation. This new site created a process that made the most cars the fastest, for the least amount of money, with a force at least 100,000 men. For the general public, this was a dream come true.
There's a parking problem, even in small towns. The policeman has a new responsibility, directing traffic.
I think Ford has definitely been competitive with the other makers and has done their best to make a vehicle affordable, quality. I think Ford makes a great product. There's a lot more we can go into detail than we can go into detail right now, but Ford has definitely survived the era of making a good car at a good cost.
In 1927, the Ford Motor Company, which had began as a sliver of hope in a perseverant man's mind, had sold over 15 million cars. In the following few years, the automobile market fluctuated and the Ford Motor Company lost its edge that it once had on its competition. Thanks to Henry Ford, no longer were cars a symbol of welfare and luxury for the rich, but a standard for the common man. Today, Ford's workforce is made up of 224,000 employees in 90 worldwide plants and about 48 million cars on the road. Henry Ford, who died on April 17, 1947, left a legacy beyond just a business, but a legacy of a culture. While the Model T may have vanished from the streets of the world, the impact of it and the man who believed that everyone should be able to enjoy the luxuries of a car remained forever.